Morning. Oh my god. It's July 13th, 2023. I'm Larissa. This is my video diary. Oh my god. Oh, pila hata. Oh, crazy. Oh, schleppy pila hata. Oh, oh my god. I was just rubbing my tea. Woke me up. Time to drink some skulls. I was having the wildest dream. It really was. So, oh, wildest dream. Yeah. So, I look like I have a black eye. What happened to me? It happened in the dream. So in this dream, I was at the old Black Panthers office, and it was on the border of Alcatraz and or on the border of Berkeley and Oakland on Alcatraz, right? An old office. It used to be, yeah, the door was off of Alcatraz. Anyway, with a they used to have the printing press in the kitchen. So I was in that office, and it was a big area. They had the area with the printing press, and there was the front office, and there was the library, and there was the kitchen and the dining room, and uh, there was a little apartment back there too. Anyway, having a party. There was a party in that space, and there were all these backpacks. And I was looking for a backpack that had my makeup in it. It was, oh my gosh, I couldn't find it. And there were all these backpacks everywhere, and laying on the floor. There were all these people like it was, and it wasn't that the party wasn't happening yet. The party was gonna happen, right? Like people were getting ready. I was like in this room getting ready for this party, and so I was looking for my makeup bag, and there were there was it was like a jazz. There were jazz musicians, and there was like warm up happening, right? In one of the rooms, and I mean this place wasn't the rooms weren't huge. They weren't huge. There was like a room that had all these tables and stuff in it, and that's where the musicians were setting up. But the place didn't have an upstairs. I mean, there was an upstairs, but the upstairs was another place. Like you had to enter from the outside and go upstairs. It was another unit. But in the dream, there were stairs that went upstairs, right? It wasn't like that in real life. And I was looking for my bag, and finally, one gal was there, also getting ready. She's like, "Oh, I think I saw it upstairs." I go upstairs. So I go upstairs. And like, there's this room. And it's got all these drum kits set up in this room, and there's horns on stands, like, horn stands, trombones and trumpets and oboes and stuff. They're all in stands, and I'm looking for this my backpack. I can't find it. I found this folding case that was full of my throwing knives. So I got this like folding case of throwing knives because I throw knives. I found that. Like I really have that. And in the dream, I found that, but I couldn't find my makeup bag. Which is weird because, like, I don't have a makeup bag. Crazy dream. And they're like, "Oh, did you find your bag?" I'm like, "No." And there's like all these women trying on these clothes up there. And, like, it's like there's like these racks of vintage clothes, and they're trying on these clothes from like I don't know, it looks like the 30s and the 40s, and it's like Panthers. I'm in the. It took place in the building, in that building where the Black Panthers office was. But I'm like, they weren't around then, but there's like all these clothes from the 30s and 40s, and they had all these shoes and stuff. It was really weird. Really fucking weird. What was that all about? What was that all about? I don't even know. I don't even know. Crazy dream. I had a crazy day yesterday, too. It was a weird day. I had all kinds of street theater. All kinds of street theater coming to the gallery. Yeah. Uh, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. People say the rudest things. So I put a sign that had the answers to these rude questions that I had a bunch of people come in and ask me, right? Or things that they came in to say to me. So I put out a sign. And this woman comes in, she's like, "What the hell kind of sign is that?" I said, "Hey, you tell me. I'm just answering the questions that people are asking me that I really don't feel like talking about. So here's the answers." She's like, "Oh my God." She's like, "Well, it must be people around here." She's like, "I'm from North Carolina." I'm like, "Well, this woman said she was from North Carolina." And she's like, "Oh, I don't know what the hell that was all about. It was weird." This one woman comes in, and she's like, "Oh, what is this place?" I'm like, It's my studio, art studio, and my gallery." "Oh, like even the clothes?" I said, "Yeah, everything that's in here that's for sale, I make." She's like, "Oh." She comes in. She's like, she's like, "Well, these are interesting." I said, "Well, they're one of a kind." She's like, "Oh yeah, your prices are one of a kind too." I'm like, "Oh, I guess people are just used to paying, buying stuff that's been made by slave labor." She's like, "No, not really." And I'm looking at her. I'm like, "You're not wearing anything so fancy." She wasn't. She was wearing like some Target blouse. And I'm like, "Yeah, that was made by slave labor. What would you do? Buy that for like $3 on the Target clearance rack?" Anyway, so she comes up to me and she's like, "I wrote a book." I'm like, "Okay." She's like, it's about, losing weight's not about dieting. She's like, "I could bring it in and give it to you." I'm like, "Okay, what are we talking about here?" She's like, "You need to put yourself first." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, she's coming into my gallery and it's like, "Oh, you're fat. You need my self-help book." And I'm just like, "Get the hell out of here." I mean, I didn't say anything. I didn't say that to her. I was like, "Oh." I said, "Yeah, people around here seem really obsessed about weight. They seem fat phobic." She's like, "Yeah, Asian people." This is what she says, which is Asian people, they like people to be slim. I said, "It's not Asian people that have said shit to me." I said, "It's been white women like you." And she goes, "Oh." I'm like, "Yeah, really obsessed." Oh, bizarre. It was really, really bizarre. And then she's like, "Oh, my daughter's an artist too." And she pulls up this picture of something that her daughter did, and it looked like something a 3-year-old had made. Like, she's like, "Oh, my daughter, she sells these to the restaurants and stuff." I'm like, "Okay." I mean, it wasn't anything. It was just bizarre, and it was like everything that came out of this woman's mouth was an insult to me. I'm just like, what is up? Like, what is this? Like, if you just want to come in here to insult me, don't come in. Yeah, bizarre, bizarre. I had this other woman come in who was like acting like some dippy old hippie and wearing one of these goofy straw hats. There's like this fad right now in Saratoga for these awful straw hats, like cheap straw farmers hats. She's one of those. We had this long conversation, but it was like a spiritual consultation. And I said to her, I said, "This is a service I offer." She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Like, I'll give you my card. You're welcome to make an appointment. I take appointments on Tuesdays and Thursdays." I'm just like, "Oh my God." It's very strange. Very strange. People are weird. People are very, very weird. Mm, yeah. I got this mark on my face. I don't know where it came from right here. I don't know what that is. It's like this mark on my face. I don't know. I noticed it last night before I went to bed. I'm like, "What is this on my face? What's on my face?" Recently, I bought something. So when I was a kid, when I was in high school, we had this hot sandwich maker thing. It was like panini press, right? And it was really, it was good. I remember it was kind of big and it was nice and heavy and it was easier to clean and stuff. So I was like, "Oh, I'll get one of these and Mark can make himself some hot sandwiches if we're out of sandwiches, the stuffed sandwiches. Maybe I don't have to make the stuffed sandwiches so often. Or maybe there was other stuff that I used to make in that sandwich maker. Like you can make fluffy omelets and stuff in them. And when I was a senior and could come home for lunch, I used that frequently. So I was like, oh, I'll get one, you know. So I ordered one, same company that made the one that I had in when we had when I was in high school. Cheap piece of shit. I threw it away. I did. I threw it away last night after I used it. I didn't even clean it. I just put it in the garbage. I'm like, what a fucking waste. It was cheaply made. It was like hard to clean and it was small. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Threw it away. Garbage. Trash. Basura. Yeah. Yeah, the train was wild. Yeah, so the staircase that I had to go up, and she's like, "Oh yeah, your bag. I think I saw it upstairs." I was like, "There were backpacks, like there were like stacks of backpacks everywhere, and they were like heavy. Some of them were heavy, and I'm like, whose bags are these?" And there were all these like different changes of men's shoes too, like and like fancy shoes. They were like it was like musicians' gears, like you know there were gaiters and two tones and like. And she's like, "Oh, be careful around the hi hats." There were like all these assembled hi hats, and I'm like, "What is going on?" These stacks of backpacks. Did you find it? But going up the stairs was like this weird narrow staircase. Um, and when you got to the top, there was like this weird like grate over it. It wasn't even really a grate. It was like this weird wire contraption that was like. She's like, "Oh yeah, you just got to pick that up and carefully get up into the corner of the room." I'm like, "Okay." So I like pull this thing up. And she's like, "Yeah, that's so you don't fall people don't fall down that staircase when they're up there." Because it was like a weird like attic loft that had been finished, right? The ceiling was slanted and stuff, and it was so weird. But everything was covered in drywall, and there was Berber carpet on the floor, and it was so weird. It was so weird. So weird. Yeah, playing jazz music. I was listening to not yesterday. Not yesterday. I was listening to piano music yesterday, but the day before I was listening to jazz. Good old Bill Evans. Good old Bill Evans and Dave Brubeck, and Mr. Miles Davis. Brubeck. Right? Take five. The other day I heard that song Autumn Leaves. That was one of my Grandma Rosie's favorite songs. I'll never forget. After she had her stroke, not long before it was like the last time I went to go see them before she died. Sitting in the cafeteria room, looking out the window at the chipmunks. Like she liked doing that. And it was fall. I was singing Autumn Leaves, and she was humming along. The autumn leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves in red and gold. Right? But I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves begin to fall. Oh, weird dream. Weird dream. Weird dream to be having like this time of day. I mean, because it's not like middle of the night. This is like, it's like what, 7 o'clock, 7:30, something like that, 7:15. Mm. Yeah. I'm almost done with this last round of edits in my book. So after I do this round of edits, this is pretty good. So like my other books the first book took 7 rounds of edits to catch everything, and then I got down to like the other ones were like 5 or 6 rounds of edits. This is like my third round of edits. So my first round of edits was done on the master copy on the computer. Second round was done after the first printout, or the and the second was done after the first printout, which is what I've just got done. So, and looking over it, like, there aren't that many. There aren't that many edits this time around. It's gonna be done, right? So it's it's almost finished. Yeah, I'm on the last chapter. Editing the last chapter. Shut up, Fluffernutter. I don't even want to shut up. Sorry. Oh my god. Pila hata. Pila hata today. Real pila hata. Oh. Need to wash my hairs. Yeah. So I got like a bump. Kind of like on my neck back here. I'm wondering if it's from this shampoo that I've been using to on my hairs. I don't know. I don't know. Yesterday was so weird. So weird. So today, I think I'm going to actually start painting. I think I'll actually mix up some paints and start some painting. Start with the sky and move down in the painting, right? This one's going to be easier than the last one because the composition is predominantly vertical, or excuse me, horizontal. Vertical. Yes. No. I'm not Bulgarian. Horizontal. Yeah. So, yeah. Weirdo Bulgarians shaking their head no and saying and meaning yes and shaking their head yes and meaning no. Why you gotta be all backwards? Backwards Bulgarians. Oh, is that what happened? Is that what happened when Zelensky asked for your support? You said, maybe you meant yes? No, didn't. Not what happened. Hey, look who it is. Oh, I don't have a flippy flip. Got a new phone. I don't have a flippy flip. Oh, do I? No, I don't. I can't flip it. I can't flip my screen. Oh, that's interesting. I can't flip my screen. Well, that's a bummer. Got a new phone. Oh, I can change the color, though. Look at that. Oh. Weirdos. I can't flip the screen. I was able to flip the screen and I could look at Brody. Brody just trotted on in here. Mr. Trotsky himself. Trotsky, Trotsky, Trotsky. Now, this woman came in and she was kind of communist. And I kept on telling her. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, this is a service I offer. Told her. I said, I am, in fact, a licensed non-denominational minister. I have my license on the wall over there. She's like, oh, I didn't know what to expect. Like, oh, well, it's my art studio. This is me. Ultimately, I am my product, right? My art is my product. Yeah, I'm part of my art. I'm going with the geisha philosophy, I guess, right? Except that I will not paint my teeth black. The geishas and their black teeth. Painting their teeth black. Anyway. 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 So there's supposed to be a whole bunch of eruptions going on in Iceland right now, and Biden's over in Europe, Biden it up. Uh, and I'm getting all kinds of screwy ass shit in my YouTube feed right now. I keep on saying, do not recommend. I really don't care what Joe Rogan has to say about anything. I don't. I don't care. Stop putting Joe Rogan in my feed. I don't want to, I really don't care. Anyway, it's been a bunch of screwy ass shit like that. I don't know. I don't know. I think I need to get up. I think I need to get up and get showered and dressed. I do. A few more sips from my skull, and then brush my toofies and take a shower.